podcast is ready for live streaming. And I want to say thank you to Beauty Zone for being that 51st um, subscriber who helped make this come possible. Because when you open a new YouTube channel, you have to have 50 subscribers to live stream. And it took a while for this podcast to do it. Now that there is some shorts on here, there's some videos, but now I have 5 guests who have already been interviewed, and they are going to have their interviews launched on the channel really soon, guys. Really soon. A little bit of patience. I'm not good with computers. I had someone professionally videotape them, and they were supposed to edit them, but they didn't follow through with that. And because this is a brand new channel, there is no monetization, and because personally, it's just been a difficult past few years, so that I'm not able to just jump on affording to hire someone who can edit. But this is soon going to have all those videos. Now, who did we interview? We interviewed Angie's Models and Images, Angie Sakala Seymour. She's the CEO of her agency, and they've got one in LA, in Toronto, and in Ottawa as well. I'm surprised they haven't opened an agency in New York. Angie, you watching this? You want me in New York? I'll go. Anyhow, look at this, guys. It's eligible for live broadcasting, but in 24 hours. I was hoping to capture the snowstorm as the first live on the I Did podcast. But the podcast does have personal short videos and things, because I had to gain followers in order to be able to go live, to be able to stream the live interviews. So we did hire a professional videographer for the first 5 interviews. And so Angie's Models and Images is going to be the very first one that we launched. She's been a very long time friend. We used to split studio space when we ran our dance school. We used to teach Magoo's Dance Company in Cornwall, and literally taught Ryan Gosling when he went off to Disney to audition to become a Musketeer, private lessons. That's a true story. And he did get the audition, and he dances in The Notebook, and when he dances just like my ex-husband Magoo, who was his teacher. So I Did podcast, guys. Check it out on YouTube, IDID. The second person after Angie that we're going to launch, they've already been filmed. I'm going to launch it. The only thing is, there was more than one camera being used to videotape. There was more than one microphone being used. All this could go into an editing program and come out nice and clean. I don't know how to do that, so I'm just going to play the live video, play the actual interview, and just see how it goes. And then if I can get someone to clean it up, I'll relaunch a second version of it edited. But right now I just want to launch it. I want to get it going because she was my first to be interviewed. And then and where she is living, can you guys believe it? But Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds, is building a house right in her neighborhood. They were inside his home. So because they have connections, maybe Angie, maybe you can help me with that. Or I might just walk over to Ryan's property and just start to try to communicate with his team, or he may just be there. You never know. It's pretty low key in Ontario. It's not, I don't think, like the States where, they're being mauled everywhere they go. People try to respect space of stars as much as possible. So that's why Justin, I guess, Bieber keeps his house here. But sorry guys, I have no makeup. You can see how tired I look. I've had a long week or two. I've had a long 2 years, I'm not gonna lie, and I don't want to go into detail, but it's getting there, and I have hope. Someone's been helping, and that person has given me tremendous hope. Well, there's 3 people that give me tremendous, well, and my children, so you gotta count them. But so who's the next person on I Did podcast we interviewed was Andre Pommier from Pommier Jewelers. He's our local diamond jeweler. He's got incredible history. We've got a lot of history personally together. I've known Andre since I was a teenager. He designed all of our family's rings. We got all of our first baby initial rings from him. Our first silver spoon my Nana would buy, or my Aunt Sheila would buy. Just anything that was special, whether it was your graduation, a birthday, your wedding, anything, excuse me, the diamonds, the jewels, any little gift come from Pommier Jewelry. Excuse me. So Andre is the next one. And it's funny because we used his space to interview someone else who is a local book author and who also has a podcast and who is quite successful. And when we interviewed her, Andre said, oh, my interview's not going to go that long, Shanna. I'm like, oh, that's okay. We'll cut it as short or as long as you want. And so, quite ironic, his interview did go the hour, which was fun. And you're going to learn a lot about what it is like from the life of a diamond jeweler. And then, sorry, I'm going to shut this for a split second. And then we interviewed a lavender farm, and a tornado warning had came on, but because I had been traveling and getting the equipment and the cameraman and everything, I had no idea that a tornado warning was issued. So when we got out to the farm, instead of having, the purple blankets down, and they had hay wagons with flower bouquets, and they had a jewelry shop and stained glass windows and lavender lemonade, all these things that were set up and ready to have this beautiful, Pinterest, Instagram moment at the interview. Well, they were hauling it away with tractors and packing everything up, and the high winds hit, and she didn't really want to stay and interview, and I understand why, but we were like, let's just get a quick interview. So she will be someone that once this interview launches, I'll be going back, and in the summer when her blooms are in full bloom, and it's a day that there's no tornado hurricane watch, and we will do another interview so it's a little more in depth, because it's a really beautiful farm and it's just really interesting. They just don't own a lavender farm. They also have, I believe, cattle and chicken and other things. So it'll be super interesting. And the other person we interviewed was Randy Sauvé. He owns Fantasy Realm downtown, and he runs Cape, which is like a Comic-Con. So everyone gets dressed up and they have it at the local big arena. And they work super hard all year long to get ready for this big production. And it's interesting because Randy and I have a history. We grew up together. He worked for my dad, and my dad used to have a deli and an ice cream parlor, and it was called the Corner Cupboard in Long Sault, Ontario. And when Hickory Farms, the business, went out of business, my dad bought the whole Hickory Farms inventory. So we ended up basically selling ice cream, cheese, everything that Hickory Farms had, salami and so forth. So Randy and I worked together there. Then he went on to open up comic book stores. He had a few, one in Brockville, one in Cornwall. I think he had two in Cornwall, one in the East End, one downtown, and then another location in Brockville. And he's now downsized, I believe, down to one. Maybe the Brockville location's still open. I got to look into that. But it's interesting to talk to a comic book store owner to find out what are his favorite comic books that he's collected. What is his rare ones that he's got. So guys, the 5 first people we interviewed, super interesting. The book author and the podcaster, not too sure if her interview is going to go out. And there's always reasons for things to happen, and I just don't think that it's a good time. So we're going to hold back on that interview, but we're definitely going to launch the other 4 interviews, and soon as they have been videotaped and launched on the channel, I'm going to be able to then start interviewing all the new guests. We've got an incredible, incredible guest lineup. We've got musicians, people who are people in bands that you will recognize the name as a household name. We've got incredible artists. We've got painters, business entrepreneurs, and people who just have a story. There's someone who is homeless, who's got an amazing story, who has amazing will, who has a beautiful heart. And so her story is hopefully going to be on here as well. So the podcast I did podcast, it's meant to represent each of those people. What did they do? What did they do? What did they do to accomplish each of their days? What do they do to get through anxiety? What do they do to get through insomnia? How do they beat maybe mental health issues? How do they beat anorexia or bulimia? How do you get through a relationship with your family or your partner? There's something to learn, maybe 10, 15, 20 things to learn from each person's interview. I think there's just so much that everybody can tell. Their story is meant to be shared, and as a world, it will bring us closer together. It'll bring us knowledge. I like to do live interviews on my personal channel here when I'm in the garden. This year, the gardening wasn't as abundant and as much of a focus as it was in the past 10 years of my life. Hopefully, next year, it definitely will be back and actually bigger and better. I've got some amazing plans. I think we're going to do a big wildflower field and possibly have people pick their own flowers. So do a pick your own. Definitely, I love resin art. I've got all of the materials. I wanted to do resin art jewelry where you take beautiful orchids or pansies, dip them in the resin. You can make earrings, necklaces, jewelries, belts, charms for your bags, for your, to clip onto your pants, clip on your book bag, keychains. There's so much fun stuff. And the bigger stuff like resin art tables and resin art coasters and bookmarkers and wall hangings, things that you can put in the house and just have a memory of whatever it is that you love. You can take your wedding bouquet and get it resin art into a beautiful coffee table or into a wall plaque, something like that. And it's just a perfect way to preserve that. So that, bridal shower, the bride could get each of the bridesmaids their bouquets resin art into a portrait, and everybody has that memory of that day, and the wedding party can put a picture in it as well. So there's so many fun things you can do with resin art. I had the office all set up, and things happened, and so we ended up having to just get moved all back in, which is so exciting because it's really like Christmas again, going through the boxes, getting to see all of the art supplies, all of the office supplies, getting all the dry flowers put back into a beautiful arrangement. So you're going to get to see them in a cupboard. It's going to be really amazing, guys. So head over to I Did Podcast, please. It would mean the world to me. Check it out. Hit subscribe. It's free to do. And check out the videos. When you guys hit the like button, that's also free to do. Hit the share button, that's free to do. Hit the save button, that's free to do. And leave a comment, that's free to do. And if you comment and engage with the people in the comment thread or with the actual YouTuber, the influencer themselves, it's always really fun. And sometimes we don't have a lot of people in our network, in our physical circles anymore. After COVID and after just a lot of different things happening in society, I feel people don't get together like they used to. You used to have to get up to go to get a video at Blockbuster if you wanted that at Friday night movie night. So when you were at Blockbuster, you'd get to see like half the community out getting their movie for Friday night. You get to see, oh, what did you watch? Did you like it? People will tell you while you're looking at the wall of all the video boxes, oh, hey, I watched that. That's really good. Or I didn't like that, or this and that. So just stuff like that. That's gone from Blockbuster. All that communication and community that we used to be involved in, and people ordering from Amazon to their home. And now I think it's Skip the Dishes will actually, or is it Uber Eats will actually go in and pick your grocery order up for you at a grocery store and deliver it to your home. So these conveniences are amazing for a lot of people who need them. I actually utilize it a lot because I'm waiting for surgery. I might have to have double surgery. I have an upper hernia needing to be repaired. I've already had 2 hernia repairs. Living and working in the country, always working hard. And as a nurse, I used to lift patients. I worked in long-term care and palliative care, so that was always just part of the job. And my one hernia, I was in my 9th month of pregnancy for my daughter Shayla, and this very tall Dutch gentleman who was just a very big person, like twice the size of the average Canadian gentlemen's that are large, kind of like a basketball player. He fell against me, and I wedged with my tummy between the toilet and the wall on one of them big metal toilet rack paper towel holders. Somehow, because he fell backwards, and I wedged, and I was on the floor, and I thought my baby was hurt, and I went off work after that, and the day Shayla was delivered, not long after, I had to have a hernia repair in OR right away, and also a gallbladder removal right after that pregnancy, all within the first day of coming out of delivery. So I think I counted something like 14 abdominal surgeries, and I think I've had 28 surgeries. I'm going to list them. I'm going to list them in my calendar and write them down because the doctor asked me the other day and I couldn't answer correctly. And a lot of my history are in the archives at the hospital because computers only came in about halfway through my life. And so the database is in paperwork and they don't like to go down to retrieve any of that sort of thing. So, um, long story, but keep warm, keep safe. I hope you guys are doing well. I would like to ask you to hit the like button, share the video. You can share the video even back to me. You can go on Facebook, find Shanna Cook. You'll recognize me. I'm with my children on the page. And you can send me a friend request or just message me and say, hey, Shanna, I'm here to send back the video. And if you watch my videos regularly, I appreciate you guys. I hit over 2.2 million views not long ago. I'm hoping by Christmas it will be 3 million views. I've got goals as well, and I'd like to put them right here because when you put them in concrete writing or um, on the internet, it's time stamped, right? It's dated. So for Facebook, I just hit 9,000 followers. I want to be at 10,000 for Christmas. That's going to be a beautiful goal. My LinkedIn account, I believe I just am hitting 23,000 followers. So that grows a little slower. And Christmas is only like a month away and a half or whatever, 2 months. So I put that, I think, at 2.5, at 23.5 thousand, I think. Instagram, it fluctuates between 940 to 980 something. I'm always in between there. I might post something like a YouTube video or say, hey, go check out my YouTube, or I might say, hey, check out my Facebook, something. And I think that the Instagram bots or people then unsubscribe for you, or people just drop you because it'll be growing, growing, growing. And then if I mention something in particular, all of a sudden it drops down. So my goal for Instagram is to be at 1,000 followers. I don't quite know what I'm at right now. I'd have to check. But I do check my numbers every month in my calendar. I write out all of my social media, which is YouTube, personal channel, YouTube, I Did Podcast, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Twitter. So I have 7 social medias. And then I'm also an Amazon affiliate now as well. So basically, I count Amazon as my 8th social media commitment. So that is super, super exciting. On Facebook, I'm monetized, which a lot of people don't realize you can get Facebook monetized. With Instagram, you have to hit 1,000 followers, and then you need like 4,000 watch hours to be monetized. And they kind of have different things for live videos and short videos. You need like 3 million short videos in a 365-day period, and you need 4,000 physical watched hours in the 365-day period. So every day, the day changes, a day drops off. So you're always just in this constant, kind of like a hamster wheel, trying to get your watch time hours up. But I on YouTube just do mainly shorts, and I have to start doing like daily live videos. I just have to start. And I'm going to start with the basic stuff, guys, like what other creators are doing. When I'm having breakfast, when I'm having my Thrive, my vitamins, I can explain to you that Dermafusion technology patch. Why do I wear a patch on my arm that infuses vitamins into my skin? I'll be able to do daily lives just showing you what my life is about, preparing the camper. Even though the winter is here, I need to get in the camper, turn the heat on. In this whole week, it's ice storming and snowing and raining, but next week there's supposed to be a stretch of nice days. I don't know if I'll get in the camper during the ice storming period, but I might. It'll probably be fun. I love to listen to rain on the roof. But I'm just finishing organizing it, getting all of the bowls in, getting my children each their own safety box that has their own toothbrush, their own personal soaps, razors, and different things like that. I'm putting together a safety first aid kit that's going to be a little bit more built out than the ones we get at the store, which is nothing wrong with it. At least get that to start. But you can go to the dollar store and get some gauze bandage. You can get some arm slings, different things that you could really use, peroxide, alcohol, calamine lotion. You should have Benadryl on hand in your first aid kit. You should have some Gravol for nausea. You should have an anti-diarrheal, some Imodium, different things that are going to help in case that you need to grab that bag and go in an emergency and may not be able to return to your home, whether it's fires or bad weather or war or any kind of disharmony in the world. Hey, thank you for the love. I appreciate it. I don't have my glasses on, so I would have to get super high, guys. Xander, I see you. Oh, so nice to see you guys on here. But I appreciate it. I normally have my glasses and I could read your comments. You got bad dry mouth. I do, because I was just outside in the storm and I literally have a top on, no pants, and a pair of shoes. And I came to get a nice cold drink up here, and whenever I got the drink, I thought I better videotape the snow and the ice, and then I just get talking. So I do have a dry mouth, and I take 3 different inhalers every day, which causes me to have a very dry mouth. And some of the medication causes me to have a dry mouth. But it's because I'm a motor mouth. It causes me to have a dry mouth. So forgive me for that. I'm going to hang up and I'm going to go and hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. But part of what I wanted to say is jump on that I Did podcast channel. I could actually bring up the podcast. It's neon green. And I'm not feeling so great, guys. So forgive me. You can tell. Look at my eyes and how I look. I'm just not in the normal state I am usually in. So that is I Did podcast, and you're going to see there's some short videos already on there that have gotten thousands of views. If you guys just watch a video for any creator, hit the like button. It takes a split second. It really means a lot to the creators. Share the video if you can. Share it back over to the creator if you even want. But share it out, onto your own Instagram or your own Facebook or your own YouTube, because just information, it gets around and it's useful and it's nice for all of us to connect as a community. I think that's important. I usually talk about gardening and how to be self-sufficient, but I'm going to be going through all the first aid and the survival bags that I'm putting together for my 4 children. I got them a heavy duty canvas over the shoulder army bag that has a zipper, so it can remain closed, and it's kind of that thick material that if it rains, it'll be somewhat water repellent. You can also spray it with a water repellent material, just like you would spray your leather or suede boots. So I'll leave that up to each of them. It's a beautiful bag, but basically the bag is meant to be your to-go bag, your security bag. So I have all those things I mentioned in there for them. First aid kits, I got miniature pots and pan sets, anything they would need, because 2 of them live in big cities. If they needed to go and be on their own, sometimes you might have to head into the bush, into the wilderness. Sometimes you may be just trying to get from where you are to your family. Could take you days to weeks to months. It depends on what's going on. If the gas station's shut down, if technology shuts down, there's going to be a lot that happens. So right now, I'm preparing those bags so that my children have their Wi-Fi, the walkie-talkies that are the radios that are for long distance. I forget what they're, satellite walkie-talkies. So we're all going to have a satellite. I actually bought a satellite for each of them. Only 2 of them have them right now. The other 2 will be getting them. I've got like an emergency tent shelter that's like the size of the phone. It's all folded up into the size like a can. I've got emergency thermal ponchos, rain ponchos for them in there, and not just the dollar store ones. I think I put a couple dollar store ones in there because they're actually useful too, to cover up like your cooler or things that your backpack, things you don't want to get wet. You can also utilize some of those rain ponchos for that. But I got some like good quality heavy duty ones that have a thermal lining. So they've got the tent, they've got the poncho, they've also got emergency sleeping bags. And then there's the whole first aid scenario with all of, like I said, your pharmaceuticals that you might need for hives, the calamine, Benadryl, peroxide, Polysporin. I have one child who's allergic to Polysporin, so she has to have Bactroban, and that's ordered by a doctor. So we got extra Bactroban ordered. Everything, Benadryl, nausea medication, all of that. If you have pets and the pets need medication, you have to kind of think about that. And you should also have a pet to go bag. I do have a pet to go bag where their leashes, their harnesses are in there. There's a bag of treats that I rotate in and out to keep fresh, but the treats are in there as well. And a little bag that had some, I have a jar of dry food so it can't be eaten into out of a Ziploc bag by a mouse or anything like that, depending on where it goes. I know a jar isn't the best thing. I need to get plastic, but at the time being, I had a jar. So I just took a jar and filled it with some dry food. So it's important to have that pet to go bag. If you cut your own pet's nails, which I do, I put a spare set of the nail clippers I like in the pet to go bag, as well as a spare hairbrush, because those are all things that you may need if you have to survive somewhere. So I'm so blessed to have the Wolf Pup trailer because it has a stove and a fridge. It's got a solar panel. It needs more solar. I'm hoping to get a Bluetti or a power source bank that has also some more solar capabilities, so I have much more capacity because it doesn't have a lot. Believe it or not, you would think it did, but that is definitely a portable power source upgrade that I'm going to be getting. That's something else for the kids. There's these 24-hour packs, recharging packs that you can use for your cell phones, and a flashlight that you crank. So it's not battery operated. You crank the flashlight, you get SOS signals, you get a flashlight, and you can actually crank, and there's solar on the flashlight to charge your phones. So those are all things that you really even should have in your own vehicle. You should have hanging at your front door closet. You should have that to-go bag ready to go, already stocked, and like just some dry food, some dry noodles, a couple bottles of water, some rice in some plastic containers or whatever. And just think about, what could I make in the bush, on the wild, in the side of the road, whatever the situation is. And it's not to be a freak about prepping, and people really get all uptight about people who prep and have these big, huge pantries and food storages. I believe in it 1,010%. 1,010%. I've seen and heard stories of my father and my mother and my grandmother and my aunts, and living through war and living through poverty and having like no food on the table, needing to go to the food bank to get rations, just like Jamaica. Who would have expected that hurricane to wipe out the entire village? And you've got like Sean Paul. He's there handing out food packages every day. Celebrities aren't above and beyond being hit by devastation. So no matter who we are, no matter what level or class we are money wise, we should all have an emergency to go bag. 90% of what you can get for it can come from the dollar store, basically. You'd be amazed. Get yourself some warm little fuzzy pet blankets, put that in your pet to go bag. So what I'll be doing is some of my live videos over the winter, because I won't be so much in the garden and exploring as much this winter as spring, summer coming. And from there on in, I should be really traveling and doing a lot more, showing you guys so many interesting things. But I will be showing you my pet to go bags, my emergency bags for both them and the children ones, and just sharing what I do and what I think and what my life is about. So I appreciate you guys leaving me comments. I appreciate you saying hi. I do need glasses, guys. This message is held for review. So there's a message. Hope I'm okay. I'm very okay. That was so. Yeah, you know what? When you're a live creator, you're also very prone and susceptible to ignorant people, to rude people, to people who are going to put hateful comments. I think that people get more hate comments than they ever do get nice comments. So you have to take those with a grain of salt. Know that where it's coming from is the person who has the problem and not you. It's you know, their ideas, their perceptions. And somebody said inappropriate something, and YouTube was smart enough to block it. And so it allowed me to look at the message, and I've read it, and it's not funny. It's not funny at all. I've mentioned that I've got children. My children are growing up, but that doesn't matter. Um, they watch the YouTube videos, they follow their mom's social media, and anything inappropriate is not welcome. So, DWDP, appreciate you being on here. Appreciate you saying hi. I appreciate you saying, I hope you're okay. I hope you're okay too. Um, I'm going through a lot medically, tremendous amount right now. Just had this burned and this burned because we had thought it was skin cancer. Well, the doctors said it was skin cancer, put chemotherapy cream on that, and then went up to Ottawa to specialist, and it's not, but that and going through a lot of physical abdominal issues, which is causing a lot of other side effects and nausea and not eating properly. So, malnutrition is coming into play. Weakness is coming into play. I had a tick bite my back and then burrow itself into my back. And it was on my birthday 2 years ago. And I went straight to the hospital. It was 24 hours later before I realized there was something there. And they removed it. But I think part of the head stayed in my body, and my body encapsulated it. And by the time I was able to convince them to get it removed, because they're like, oh, it's a fat nodule, oh, it's a calcium bump, it's this, it's that. Well, finally, it was a good size. I don't know if it was the size of an orange, or a little bit smaller, but it would have been a good size, and that was on my spine. And then I had another tumor removed from my finger, in the same year, and lost my aunt who was like my mother, my Aunt Sheila. God rest your soul, Sheila. I miss you every day. Lost my Nana, who was my world. She raised us when my parents weren't there, and I was at my Nana's every single day. So, lost my Nana, then lost my aunt to cancer. Then I lost my dad, and I lost my mom, all within a 2 year period, and had to move out of my house because of a sub pump failure. Got the sub pump all figured out with backup batteries and generators and everything in place now, but had to get moved back in. And it's just been really stressful, very difficult, because I'm dealing with some of my aunt's estate, dealing with our own personal estate. You know, the children are off in university and growing up and working jobs, and they live in apartments in big cities and don't necessarily have a big home, so they don't have room for all of their stuff that they used to have when they were at home with me. So it's getting through all of that, finding out what is meaningful to everyone, getting what is meaningful to each of the children, getting everybody's room set up, getting the library reset up, getting the office reset up, the filing cabinets, the whole apothecary reset up. You know, I also love beeswax and making candles. So there's going to be doing beeswax candles with dry flowers and some beautiful things. And again, the beeswax is nice to have, or yourself a tub of lard like Crisco oil. You can utilize that for candle burning in an emergency. You just need to get yourself also some wick off of Amazon or Walmart or Michael's, the crafting stores, anywhere. Probably even dollar stores have candle wicks now, to be honest. Actually should put that on my list. I'm going to put that on my list when I'm done. But so I hope you guys learned something. If you did, let me know in the comments something that you did learn, or let me know something that you do to prepare yourself, or what else would you put in your prepper bag. I mean, I didn't give you my full list, because it's quite lengthy, but it all does fit in the book bag, and it is a whole survival kit. So let me know what you'd put in your pet survival kit. Let me know where you're watching from. What's the weather like? It's ice, raining, snowing here. Oh, not too cool, not too fun. Last night was the Road Apples, the Tragically Hip cover band at the Port Theater, and they're good friends of mine, and I go do all the videography and like advertising for them. So I am very blessed to be able to go to the Port and to all of their functions as a guest, and I just couldn't last night. I tried. I just couldn't, and see, I'm shaking right now. I just couldn't get the strength to go. out on the dark night and come back on the dark night. So I felt bad. I'm having remorse today because I love the Tragically Hip. And when they performed their last performance in Kingston, which is just a 3-hour drive, I never got to go. The person I was seeing at the time told me if I would leave and go to that concert without him, which he wasn't going to go, that, he was gonna break up with me, and you know what? I should have got in the truck and left. I should have got in the truck and left, but, because, he passed away not long after, so the Tragically Hip, that was their last concert, and I missed it, and so I hate having regrets like that. I hate having regrets, but every day we get stronger. Every day more and more is happening that's positive. I think as positive as I can. I don't try to think about everything that went wrong in the past. I only think about what is right, what I'm grateful for, what I'm blessed for, what I have now, and what my future is going to behold. So, let me know, guys, too. What's your favorite positivity saying? Like, what do you say to yourself every day? I've got posters, handwritten notes beside my bed, in my bathroom, on the fridge, on a mirror, just saying you can do it for the kids, you can be strong, think positive, all those things, so that I have physical reminders that I'm not just thinking them, my eyeballs see them, rereads them, and I'm kind of like reprogramming my mind every day to think positive and to manifest into our lives a future that is not like the past, and it's not like the generational curse that goes on. I want to break that generational curse. That is my goal, I believe, why I was put on earth. And I was a registered nurse for 35 years. We went to dance school for 23 years, taught thousands of children. There's so many kids to this day. I see them in their jobs when they're working at the grocery stores or wherever they're working, in restaurants and so forth, and they tell me how happy they were to be at the dance school. Our local Staples, the gentleman who manages it, came up and reminded me that I delivered their twins and that I was an amazing nurse, that he and his wife still talk about it to this day. So those things really mean a lot, really mean a lot. It really makes all the heartache seem to go away, and then all these beautiful bright moments are there. And he and his wife hopefully are going to be on my podcast. I would love to have them just talk about that. So the podcast isn't going to be like hours long and you might watch half of it and lose interest. They'll hopefully be really cool, short and sweet. Some of them might run an hour, but hopefully what they're saying is going to be interesting enough to everyone to stay tuned in for that hour. But they're also going to be stories like that, just little amazing stories. So stay tuned, guys. And I have another project in the works that I will be launching and talking about on January 1st for New Year's. So it'll be my new 2026 project. Like, I don't have enough going on, but it is something I've talked about since I was a little girl. And somehow now I'm living in a generation where with internet, I'm able to bring that dream that I used to talk about to life. So that's going to be really fabulous and cool too. So hang on, guys. I'm trying to give you some amazing content. I honestly have been going through a lot and don't want to cry, but literally, it has probably been the last 2 toughest years of my life. And my husband and I split up about 15, 18, I don't know, years ago. That was an extremely difficult time raising the 4 children alone. He went off to be a diamond miner up north somewhere and went and did ironworking way up north, and um taking care of the kids and learning that I was going to have to do this alone was a huge, huge, huge thing. And I'm proud of each of my children. They've grown up to be incredible humans. They love the planet. They're kind to people. They're caring. They're hardworking. They're loving. I don't know what that noise was. Anyhow, that's kind of weird. Must have been the cat doing something. So, anyhow, guys, let me know where you're watching from. Drop it in the comments. I'm going to reread these with my glasses on. So sorry that I didn't get to say hi. Love from New York. Awesome. Whereabouts in New York are you? I love New York. What's the matter? Luna. Uh-oh. Luna and Yuki are fighting over who gets to look out the window at the snow, I guess, on their cat climbing thing. I'd love to know where you are from New York. I love New York City. I'm about a 6-hour drive, excuse me, from New York. And New York State, Vermont, all of that. We've spent many, many, many summers, many years camping at Whiteface Mountain, KOA. I love the village of Lake Placid. They've got a bakery there that's phenomenal. The brewery has the most amazing steaks. It's phenomenal. Um, and then New York City, I used to stay at the Hilton down on Broadway. So I know that area quite a bit. I know quite a bit of New York, actually, because my husband performed dance and competitions, and we would go to Broadway plays and shows and go to shop. And I went to Woodstock in New York back in 1994. And that was an experience. Oh God, I'll do a whole video on my Woodstock experience. It was phenomenal. So thanks for saying hi. Dean, appreciate you leaving a comment. Again, YouTube blocked it for a very good reason. I don't know how they do that. How do they know what's inappropriate? But the technology and AI has become almost outsmarting humans, I would say. And they say the knowledge of the AI something like tenfolds every single day. So can you imagine if you got $10 today, tomorrow you got 10, the next day you got 10, the next day you got 10, and $10 on top of $10 on top of $10 all multiplies interest, and the next thing you know, you've got a data bank or a bank account that is unfathomable. That's what's happening with the AI knowledge. You can hire AI to walk your dog now. You can hire them to tutor your children. I mean, I used to dream about it when I was a kid. I used to think about it. I used to always be very um, into dreaming about what the future would be like. I used to think that I will see flying cars, and we have. And I believe some of my early years um, school yearbooks would have some of those sayings in it, which I hope maybe I find the yearbooks in the library when the library's all put together. But it's interesting to see the technology. Now, some of it has brought us so together, and we were so grateful when cell phones came out. We could all have a cell phone. We were so grateful when computers came out. We could all have a computer. But then everything went downhill as far as privacy, our banking. I have to go to the bank on Monday tomorrow, get a new bank card because I saw a Carhartt shirt on Facebook, and I went in to look to see, how much is it? Is it from Carhartt? It was a really super nice sweater for winter. It would have been perfect for a lot of the things I do, and I guess an Asian company tried 7 times to charge my account. So TD put a hold on my card. So when I went to go get a breakfast sandwich the other day, I couldn't get it. And I'm like, I know there's money, but I thought something, anyways. And then so now that it was the weekend and I found out that's what happened, they put a hold on my card. I have to now go and get a new card on Monday at the bank. So I can't go get gas in the truck. I can't, go get a smoothie or a nice lemonade or do anything because I gotta wait for Monday to go get a card. So technology is breaching, and I also got ripped off. That ad you see on Facebook and YouTube, put $250 in today and you can have $1,000 by tomorrow, and it's automatic trading and you do nothing, just invest your money. And it sounds too good to be true, but it can be true if you are in the right stock market and you are invested in the right place. But unfortunately, I trusted someone who wasn't to be trusted, and I got scammed there. So I have to go to the police station and report that as well. So I'll be doing a video on that, just trying to help spread the word so other people, the younger generation, I don't know if they're smarter and they just don't get caught up in doing these things. And this older generation, as we're learning what we can and can't do on the internet, is the trouble. But I like the old-fashioned ways where you get in a horse and buggy and go to church and go get your food once a week, and the flour and things that you couldn't grow yourself, and share your vegetables, and have uh get together parties where you would make something and everyone would bring a potluck dinner. And um I just I just love that. And I used to think that I'm going to create a village. I'm going to buy land, and I almost was able to. I think the lot is still for sale, and it actually has a lake, your own lake on it, and like 56 acres, which isn't a lot. It is a lot, but it's not a lot. But I'd like to form a small community who are off grid, self sustaining, all community based gardening, and everybody is going to be the community is going to be so small that we are going to be able to choose who gets to live there and who gets to stay there, and um people will help each other watch their children in the park. While mom might be baking a cake, the neighbor could be with her children. It's going to be a friendly society, but mostly it's going to be self-sufficient, off-grid, self-sustaining. I honestly, and you might think it's crazy, which it is, but it's not. Uh, People who've done underground homes or mount homes put into mountains, um, it has been happening for since the early 16 and 17 and 1800s, whatever, as far back as time could go. People have built their homes underground and in the ground because you can sustain cool air and warm air without any heat or air conditioning, and you can your food stays good in the root cellar at a certain temperature. So if you utilize the earth in ways that it's meant to be utilized, you can be self-sustaining. You're not going to have expensive light bills. You're not going to have natural. I have a natural gas bill. I've got a electric bill. I've got the water pump situations, like, so everything in self-sustaining. Yeah, everyone may think it might be a little bit harder work, and it would be to just get it off the ground, but literally you wake up every day, you've got your list of chores, you get them done, you have amazing meals, you wake up with the sun, you go to bed with the sun, your circadian rhythm is in place, you heal yourself with natural growing remedies and herbs, edible flowers and tinctures that you can make from your very own yard and garden. That's what I want to teach. Be self sustaining and provide a future where if my children want to come back from the big city, they're going to have somewhere to come home to that they can fit right in and be able to live the most healthy life that you could ever ask for. So that's what's in my future. If God has it in my plan to live long enough to make it work, that is my goal, is to make a self-sustaining community that we garden and we make our own baskets, and there's no plastics, it's all glass bottles. You make your own sauerkrauts, you ferment your foods, you smoke your meats, you have fresh fish, for dinners. You've got your poultry. You can have quail eggs. Quail eggs are like 3 times or more the nutrition of a chicken egg. Quails are so much easier to raise. They're a lot less space. They need a lot less feed, and their meat is so sweet. So you could have them as a sweet meat bird, and they produce eggs, about 1 egg a day every day. So, and quail eggs, if you were to sell them, let's say, because your community has an excess of them, but I would be pickling my quail eggs. You could be doing all kinds of things to preserve them in the future. You can make dried egg. You can dehydrate the egg and use the dried egg. That lasts like almost forever. But let's say we came to a point where we wanted to sell some quail eggs. It's always, something that can be done. And a quail egg goes usually to the restaurants for high prices because they're hard to get. They're delicate, but they're highly packed in nutrition, just like the quail meat is very nutritious. So a breast of a quail is equivalent to the nutrition of a breast of a chicken, if I'm not mistaken. And it's just a different type of meat. It's sweeter, and it's just, what? Where your meat comes from. We can go to Walmart, we can go to the grocery store. We think we're getting chicken that's been raised properly. It's probably been pumped with hormones. They inject the chicken itself with water so that it plumps up the meat itself. We all know that red meat gets the red dye so the hamburger doesn't turn brown and the steaks don't go brown. When you cut into a strawberry from the store, it's white inside. When you cut into a strawberry that I grow in my yard or at the strawberry farm, it's blood red. It's so beautifully sweet, red, throughout. Same with an apple. You bite an apple from the store and leave it on the counter. It won't go brown. It just sits there and it's like white 3 days later. You bite an apple off of my apple tree, it goes brown within minutes. You don't get finished the apple, it's browning. So our foods have been changed. All of the dyes in the cereals. I know it's fun to eat Fruit Loops or it's fun to eat Cookie Crisp or whatever. You know what, though? We got to give our children more natural things. We got to give our body more natural things. And we have to reset that generation now. You, me, and the generation watching this, no matter what our ages, how old we are, or how young we are, we need to make lifestyle changes and stop buying the colored food and fruits. Reject them. You know, I seen something not long ago that a can of Pepsi, when you dilute the can, when you take a sandpaper and you scrub off all the aluminum, inside there's a plastic lining. So even though you think you're getting a pop out of a can, thinking, well, I'm avoiding plastic bottles, it's in a plastic lining. I swear to God, that is every can of pop has a plastic lining within it that I never knew that even existed. But when you do it the right way and melt it down with hot water and all this, I posted it. It exposes it's in plastic. So, guys, our whole world is filled with it. Our air is filled with it. They're wanting you to inject yourself, and this could be a whole nother topic. You know, the injections. I don't believe in putting any poison in your body that you don't need to. I honestly think it was population control, forcing people to get COVID shots. You weren't allowed to go into Walmart. You weren't allowed to go across borders. You weren't allowed to fly. You weren't allowed to go into a nursing home. You weren't allowed to go into a hospital. You had to have your COVID shots, and not one, not two, not three, not four. They had like 6 of them out or something. My daughter worked for the government. They were forcing to have them. My daughter was in university. They were forcing them to have them. When the COVID pandemic hit so hard, the Quebec and Ontario border closed. People weren't allowed to come back and forth. Quebec had severe COVID cases in the nursing homes that just exploded. My daughter was so sick with COVID. Friends lost their smell and taste. One friend had blood clots in her brain and lungs. It was very serious. And the border was closed. They weren't going to let us go get our children from university because they weren't allowed to come back into Ontario until the ban was lifted. I was like, I'm going to get my daughter because she was sick and she needed help. And she got the next COVID that came out too and fell very sick. I have friends who are musicians who are losing their hearing and smell and taste from COVID. That, like, just this last month. So COVID isn't gone, guys. It's not gone. So if you could start planting just on your porch, just on your front step, if you don't even have a step or a garden or a yard, plant in your windows. You can hang with hooks from the dollar store, you know, and grow some herbs. Start growing oregano, that's healthy for you. Grow sage, grow, you know, your own tomatoes. You can grow your own cucumbers. All of that, it can be very well done. You can get a metal rack for really cheap. You can make wooden sticks with strings and then just put some reflective around it. There's so much you can do to grow at home on your own and not rely on the food banks, but the food grocery stores and the food supply chain is what I was thinking. The food chain that, you know, the world will be a better place too. Less pollution for all the vehicles traveling to bring all this food to back and forth to the stores. There's just it's a catapult effect, and it's like a snowball. The more you do at home, the less you're going to need to go outside to do. The healthier you're going to get. The healthier you get, the more you can do at home. The more you do at home, the more the next generation's going to learn how to be self-sustaining. You know, you can collect acorns from oak trees right now, any of the acorns you find on the ground, and you can soak them, get the tannins out of them. Walnuts, you can do the same to a black walnut. You can dehydrate them in your oven or in a dehydrator. Some people just let it dehydrate by nature, by the air with fans on it. And then you can take those crushed walnuts and acorns and make pancakes and flour out of it. There's lots you can do with acorn flour. And most people have never even heard of crushing acorns and making flour, or didn't know you can get a whole bunch of black walnuts and soak them, get the tannins out, make them taste really super delicious. So, guys, on your front yard, there's something like 13 plants that we could eat to be self-sustaining. I seen like a government educational release that came out, and it said there was a time that the plants in our front yard kept us from starvation. And there may be a time in the future you need to know that knowledge again. So, like a dandelion, you can eat the leaves, you can eat the flower, you can crush the root of a dandelion to create coffee. It's also got healing benefits. Same with echinacea. You can grow that at home. Cattails are edible. There's all kinds of things like raspberries. People will pick the raspberries they see in the nature and wild, but they don't think about picking the raspberry leaves. You can pick the raspberry leaves. You can put them in your salads. You can dehydrate them. You can grind them up. You can use them as spice on top of just about any pork, chicken, anything that you want like that. You can literally put raspberry leaf as a spice. So these are the things that my YouTube channel are going to be more focused on. Right now, I know it's just me talking. I never have like a list written out. I do have lists written out, but I don't have them when I'm doing these talks. Like, I want to be able to sit at the computer and be like, okay, today I'm going to talk about how to utilize the 7 plants in your yard. And then whenever I talk about it, I'll have the list to make sure I cover all those things and be more creative in the questions that I can maybe ask you guys and the interactions that we can have. But I think the most basic thing is to say hi to each other. Be like, hey, hi, like someone did for me. I'm in New York. I'm in Ontario, Canada. We just got our first snowstorm. So I was outside showing you guys literally in a shirt, no pants, and my Bluntstones. I don't want to show you. I don't want to show you that part, but that's the truth. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. I don't know if I can get my leg up that high. The door, a Bluntstone, no pants. Did you see it? So, I went out with just this warm shirt, thought I'd just capture a quick video. I ended up doing quite a few videos, but I live in the country. It's dark, it's raining, and the people that did drive by, I'm on my steps. You can't see me. But I just did it as a quick, I'm going to run out and get a video. So these are crazy things that I do, guys. I do want to communicate with you. I do want to learn about you. I do try to answer anyone who messages me. I try to go back in the comments and I try to acknowledge everybody's comments. I do utilize a lot of platforms. At the beginning of the video, I said my YouTube here I utilize the most. Facebook I utilize because I'm monetized on Facebook now, so it's getting a lot of my attention. Instagram, I believe at 1,000 followers you can monetize. I might be wrong, but I'm very close. I'm like 20 away, 30 away from that. And so I'm trying to understand how to put out social media on all these platforms and give everybody enough information that makes them happy and gives them knowledge and makes you want to come and say, hey, what is Shanna up to today? I fish, I ice fish, I skydive, I love to nature hike, I climb waterfalls, I do so many things that are so different and interesting than most people. I just have to learn to do more vlogging to share that with you and show you. So, guys, again, just let me know where you're watching from. Please hit the like button. That would mean the world to us. If you could share this to someone you know, share it. If you want to go to Facebook and find me under Shanna Cook, you can send me a personal message and Facebook it, like message, share this video right over to my Facebook Messenger. That way it counts as a share. You're sharing it out. You can share it to family and friends, share it to your own TikTok, your own Instagram, your own Facebook account, any of the reels that you see, and leave a comment because that's what YouTube is looking for, or Facebook. And when they see people interacting by liking and sharing or saving the post, depending on which app you're on, you can hit that little save button. Is it Instagram too that I can save on? And if you save it, share it, comment, like it, or just watch it till the end, because when you don't watch things till the very end and just jump off, YouTube counts every second that it's watched, and they know when people leave the videos early, and then if everybody leaves your videos halfway through, there's a graph. It shows you your retention rate. So if you made it till the end of every video, this is my thing, okay? I learned this from Mitch. He's a YouTuber who does a lot of celebrity stuff. And at the end of his videos, he always says, if you make it till the end, leave this word so I know you made it till the end. So I think that's brilliant. And I would like to do that because I can go back when I have time in between and see who does watch things till the end, because then I can come over to your YouTube page, your Facebook, and show some love and interact on your posts. That's what my goal is. I do try to go back over and interact on people's posts. I do get hundreds of thousands of views a day across all the social medias, so I can't do that to every platform all of the time. I wish I could. I would like to hire an assistant who is just for social media, who can make sure to be doing all of what they need to do. So all I need to do is check your comments and interact. A lot of the other work will be done, so that'll give me more time to be able to interact personally with everyone. But this is how I get to do it, is on the screen right now. So thank you for hanging in. If you are here till the end, because it is the first ice snowstorm here today in Canada, how about we write let's just write ice storm. It is literally an ice storm outside. It's ice rain, ice storming. And I don't know if you guys know, but back in 1997, we had a massive ice storm that took out power for weeks, left a lot of people cold and hungry. A lot of people passed away. Some of the National Guard had to come in, help people in the country, get to them in snowmobiles and in tanks and whatever else. So it was a really traumatic time. The home I'd lived in wasn't suitable to stay in, so we were traveling from family member to family member with 2 children. I just had my daughter, Shayla. She was a brand new baby. My Nana lived in an apartment complex, so her apartment was sort of warm from having all the other units, and it was like all cement. And she did not want to leave. She did not want to go to my aunt's house where the 2 of them could have stayed warm. And my aunt did not want to leave her house to go to my Nana's house where she could have kept my Nana company and stayed warm. I was not able to keep all the family at my Nana's, although in hindsight, I think now I just wished I would have made that work, because I would drive Nana hot water in the morning and at night so she could have soup and coffee. And she should never have been left alone, but she wanted to be in her building with her people, and I had to be somewhere where I could have enough room for Jazz and Shayla and myself and my husband at the time to sleep. So ice storm is very real. It's very scary. The power being knocked out is scary for me. That's what caused my first sub pump flood that caused me to have to evacuate my whole house and lose photo albums and so many things in damaged in the way that we lost a lot of family memories and a lot of really cherished things, and that really put me in a bad place mentally to deal with things. But I'm on the other side of that now. I could see the light at the end of the tunnel, as they say. So that's a blessing. So guys, if you're here till right now, just drop it down in the comments and write ice storm for me, please. And that'll show me who watched it till the end. Thanks for hanging out, and I hope that you find my other videos interesting. Let me know what you want me to do. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know what some of your favorite videos that you watched. Like, I will get out fishing more this year. I didn't even get fishing this summer. So now that winter is here, unless I go in the next week or two, I totally missed an entire season without fishing once, which is just crazy, crazy. Last winter, I think I got out 4 times to ice fish, because I like to do the tournaments, because there's always big prizes to be won. Anyone can win, a first-time fisher person, children win, elderly people win. So it's a good time to go fishing. It's not just about you got to be a real true sportsman to win. It's a really fun event. The Hooples Creek tournament, Alexandria canceled theirs. They don't have it anymore. But Hooples Creek in Long Sault always has theirs, and it's a blast. And there's always family day for fishing as well. So you guys will see me out. I do have a new fishing hut. Don't know where it is in the storage yet. So last year I rented the wooden huts, which I love because you can cook on the fire. And I didn't spend as much time in the hut as I normally would have and normally do. So this winter I'm going to bring out more wood for the fire and have enough bait and enough food to keep me warm, and warmer boots, just better clothing. I'm looking in my closet right now as we speak. I want to be dressed warmer and prepared for it. And this year we're going to have some fun live ice fishing videos. And I'm going to go live streaming and let you watch what it's like to ice fish, and hopefully bring a couple fish right up through that hole for you so that you can see how massive some of the fish are in the St. Lawrence River. I literally just posted a whole series of a lot of my fishing pictures, some of my biggest catches. Um, I did some shorts here on YouTube, but on Facebook, you can watch the whole thing straight through. So check my Facebook page out. You'll find me on Instagram under Shanna Cook 37, and I do cross post a lot of the same content. That's how I keep up with all my media. I mean, people can only create so many things a day. So when you create something, I like to cross share it across all the social media so they're all getting something from me each day. That's what's gotten me to the point of monetization. No, I'm not rich on monetization. I'll even start sharing what I make on Facebook monetization. But like with YouTube, like I said, you had to meet certain criteria to be monetized. With Facebook, you have to wait to be invited. They don't It's not criteria, it's invitation. So I was blessed and grateful to be invited. And then I'm also blessed to be an affiliate, Amazon affiliate as well. So these are exciting things because I'm no longer able to work as a nurse. I am no longer able to landscape and garden like I used to. I am no longer able to housekeep like I used to. Um, I used to find things and sell them, refinish the furniture and sell it. My dad owned a furniture shop, so I grew up with antiques and furniture. I used to call them gifts from the universe, and that's what kept me going all the years as a single mom to be able to finally acquire a home of my own. I got this home on a rent to own, and um, I was blessed to be able to get this home. And I'm just going to leave this here, guys. Lots of changes happening. Lots of changes are happening. So I just have a lot to deal with. And I'm trying to stay happy and positive. So have a great Sunday. Let me know what the weather's like where you are. You got sunny, beautiful weather? Do you got snow? Do you got tons of snow? Is it just raining? Are you getting through a devastation like a hurricane? I wish I could do more for Jamaica. I wish I could go to Jamaica and help them. I would like to go and volunteer. If there's any way that I could go volunteer, I definitely would. Um, Maybe it'll be in the cards in another month. I could, go and still help um, with the cleanup and everything. Um, just got to figure out having my surgery, and then I would gladly go and help hand things out. Imagine standing beside Sean Paul and helping. And that's not why I'm doing it. Every time there's devastation, I donate to the causes. And there's the modeling agency I talked about at the beginning of the video. Um, she also goes to Jamaica and Barbados and helps hand out things at Christmas and school time. They give children their school bags and books and new shoes and book bags and lunch kits. And at Christmas, they go pay people's groceries and give out gifts, and they do a lot of good. So there's a lot of good in the community. There's a lot of good to be had, and we just have to stick together. So again, if you're watching till the end, let me know where you're watching from. It doesn't have to be your town. You can just write your province or your state or your country, and let me know what the weather's like. And write the word. What did we decide? Ice storm. Ice storm. Just write the word ice storm, guys. If you're watching right now, write the word ice storm. Peace out. Stay safe. And I do wish you all the best. We'll see you soon.